Imagine it's 11:30 p.m. You're standing in a small, dimly lit kitchen. The only sound is the low hum of the refrigerator and the rhythmic ticking of a clock on the wall. Across from you stands someone you care about. The air is heavy with the residue of an argument. Not a loud one, but one of those exhausting, repetitive ones that leaves you feeling hollow. You've just pointed out how their silence makes you feel lonely, or perhaps how their sudden temper flares up without warning. Then they say it. Or maybe you're the one who says it. Look, I'm just like that. Take it or leave it. It feels like a mic drop, doesn't it? A final stand for authenticity. But in the world of psychology, this sentence isn't a sign of strength or self-knowledge. Most people live their entire lives without realizing that this specific phrase is actually a white flag, a surrender of the soul. We think we are defending our true selves, but in reality, we are building a prison and locking the door from the inside.
Why is it that the most honest thing we say about ourselves is often the biggest lie we tell? Today, we're going to look at the hidden mechanics of emotional intelligence, EQ, and why the most evolved people on the planet have deleted this sentence from their vocabulary entirely. Before we dive deep, let's get one thing straight. This isn't about being a people pleaser or changing your core values to fit someone else's mold. There is a massive difference between who you are and how you act. People often confuse their toxic habits with their identity. Having high EQ isn't about becoming a different person. It's about realizing that the person you think you are is much more flexible than you've been led to believe. This isn't an attack on your character. It's an invitation to expand it.
In psychology, saying "I'm just like that" is the ultimate anthem of the fixed mindset. This concept, pioneered by Stanford professor Carol Dweck, suggests that many of us view our personality, intelligence, and character as static traits, like the color of our eyes. We think we were born short-tempered, or born shy, or born emotionally distant. But modern neuroscience tells a much more exciting story through a phenomenon called neuroplasticity. For decades, we believed the adult brain was a finished product, a piece of hardware that couldn't be upgraded. We now know that your brain is more like mental Play-Doh. Every time you choose a new reaction, every time you pause before shouting, or every time you reach out when you want to withdraw, you are literally rewiring your physical brain. You are creating new neural pathways, or synapses, that make the new behavior easier the next time. So why do we fight so hard to stay the same?
Meet the amygdala. This tiny almond-shaped part of your brain is responsible for your survival. When someone suggests you should change a behavior, your amygdala doesn't see it as constructive feedback. It sees it as a threat to your identity. To your brain, changing who you are feels dangerously close to dying. This is where the "I'm just like that" defense comes from. It's a freeze response. By labeling a behavior as an unchangeable part of your DNA, you give yourself a get-out-of-jail-free card. It saves you from the intense discomfort and hard labor of self-reflection. But here's the fascinating catch. If your personality was truly unchangeable, why are you so different now than you were 10 years ago? Why do you act differently at a funeral than you do at a football game? The truth is, you are already changing all the time. The question is, are you doing it with intention, or are you just drifting?
Let's take a walk back into your past. No one enters this world deciding to be difficult or cold. Think of a child, maybe it was you, sitting in a cluttered living room watching their parents argue. To survive that environment, that child might have learned that being stubborn was the only way to be heard. Or maybe they learned that being emotionally numb was the only way to avoid feeling the pain of neglect. Back then, these weren't personality traits. They were survival strategies. They were pieces of armor you forged in the fires of your childhood to keep your heart safe. The tragedy is that we grow up, move out, and start new lives, but we keep wearing that heavy, rusted armor. When a partner asks you to be more vulnerable and you snap back with, "I'm just a private person, that's just how I am," what you're really saying is, "I am still that scared child, and this armor is the only thing keeping me safe." Psychologists call this adaptive behavior. We mistake our defense mechanisms for our essence. It's a very empathetic, non-judgmental truth. You aren't bad for having these traits. You were actually very smart to develop them when you needed them. But the question a high EQ person asks is, does this armor still serve me today, or is it just making it impossible for anyone to get close to me? When we say, I'm just like that, we are honoring our past trauma while sacrificing our future happiness. We are choosing the comfort of a familiar prison over the uncertainty of a new freedom. Can you see the invisible strings of your history pulling your levers today? Now, here's where it gets interesting. What if we stopped looking at our personality as a noun, something we have, and started looking at it as a verb, something we do? People with high EQ understand that the self is a work in progress. They don't see themselves as a finished statue, but as a garden. A garden is never done. It requires constant weeding, planting, and pruning. Reframing your perspective means moving from I am a hot-tempered person to I am a person who currently struggles with managing anger. Do you feel the difference? The first sentence is a death sentence. It's a closed door. The second sentence is a diagnostic. It's an invitation to heal. High EQ is the courage to be unfinished. It's the realization that being authentic doesn't mean being static. True authenticity is the ability to align your actions with your highest values, even when your old habits are screaming at you to stay the same. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's actually a superpower. It's the ability to respond rather than just react. When you stop saying, I'm just like that, you aren't losing yourself. You are finally giving yourself the permission to grow into the person you were always meant to be before the world told you who you had to be. Doesn't that feel a lot lighter?
So how do we actually do this in the middle of a messy real-life Tuesday? How do we stop the I'm just like that reflex from ruining our relationships? Here are 3 small, specific steps to start today. Step 1, the 3-second gap. The next time you feel that defensive sentence rising in your throat, usually when someone you love is giving you feedback, just pause. Count to 3. Don't say anything. Observe the physical sensation in your body. Is your tight chest? Is your face hot? That's your amygdala trying to protect you. Just by noticing it, you shift the power from your emotional brain to your logical brain. You aren't just like that. You are just feeling like that in this moment. Step 2, the power of yet. This is a simple linguistic hack. Whenever you catch yourself stating a limitation, add the word yet to the end. I'm not good at talking about my feelings, yet. I don't know how to stay calm when I'm stressed, yet.
Yet is a bridge. It acknowledges your current reality without trapping you in it. It signals to your brain that growth is not only possible, but expected. Step 3, behavior experiments. Think of one trait you've always used as an excuse. Maybe it's, I'm not a morning person, or I'm just not the type to apologize first. This week, run one tiny experiment. Do the opposite of that trait just once. Apologize for something small, even if it feels awkward. Wake up 15 minutes earlier and sit with a cup of coffee. You will realize that the sky didn't fall. Your identity didn't shatter. You are still you, just a slightly more capable version. Remember, you don't need to change everything at once. You just need to prove to yourself that change is possible. Start so small it feels almost silly. The goal isn't perfection, it's momentum.
There's an old saying that the oak tree is the strongest tree in the forest, but it's the first to crack in a storm because it refuses to bend. The willow, however, is flexible. It moves with the wind, and because it can change its shape, it survives the hurricane. Saying I'm just like that is trying to be the oak. It's a brittle kind of strength that eventually leads to loneliness and stagnation. But having high EQ is being the willow. It's the wisdom to know that your essence is deeper than your habits. So I want to leave you with a question to sit with tonight. What is one thing you've been saying I'm just like that about, simply because you're afraid of what might happen if you let it go? Let's start a conversation in the comments. Tell me one trait you're ready to add the word yet to. For the next 7 days, I challenge you to catch yourself every time you start to defend a bad habit. Stop, breathe, and choose a new response. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone who might be hiding behind their own armor. And as always, thank you for being here and for choosing the brave path of self-discovery. Follow for more daily insights into the beautiful, messy world of psychology. Until next time.